Ever since Gibson conquered the concept of robot tuners, there has only been one white whale remaining for all of guitar players. One feature, one unconquerable land that has not yet been done yet, and that is using your guitar as a MIDI controller. I've been on the hunt for this as Captain Ishmael. Hopefully I'm getting my metaphors right. For a long time, right? I've gotten some bad guitar MIDI stuff in the past. And the best one I've used so far is the Roland system that I have built into my Emerald guitar. And that one's really cool. That can be pretty pricey, but we've got a new thing that I was just turned on to by my friend Daniel. This is the Recovery Effects Ghost Rider. So they sent me over this pedal, and basically it's a lot different because it's so much more cost effective than the Roland system. It's just a pedal that you plug your guitar into, and then you can have your guitar, it just goes all the way through, so you can put it anywhere in your chain. And you have a through that you can toggle on and off, so you can do your guitar also as a regular guitar as a layer, but it's also sending MIDI information out via a 3.5 millimeter to MIDI connector thing. So you do have to buy that cable separate if you want to use this. I'll link all the stuff in the description. But I just want to check it out, use it with some of my favorite synths. what an anticlimactic sound. But yeah, you want to be able to trigger your synths with the guitar, because otherwise you have to use a MIDI controller piano, and just the shapes of a piano playing mind versus a guitar playing mind, for me anyway, is a totally different experience. And they are two different kind of things, so sometimes I want to be able to use my guitar for this. A couple caveats here: this is monophonic, so you can only play one note at a time. That is one thing that's different from the Roland system. But the pedal couldn't be more straightforward. There's really just the two switches here to just send either MIDI or just your regular audio signal, or both through the pedal at the same time. There is a sensitivity knob right here, which adjusts how much criticism the pedal can take about the screenplay that it's working on. Actually, what it really does is it's just how much information it's sending through from your guitar pickup. And then a glide knob, right? So right now I just have it set up to one of the Arturia Korg MS-20. And you can tell, like, it tracks really, really well. In fact, I would say this is the best tracking audio to MIDI guitar device that I've played yet. I'm gonna go through just some of my favorite synth sounds, then I'll maybe do like something with like a backing track and kind of just add some cool synth stuff to it. But basically, monophonic means one note at a time, as you can see the way I'm playing it. Also, you just heard a glitch there because before I was playing it a little palm muted. So the trick is to get it like the shorter notes to hit before you start the next note. Otherwise, it ends up being like a chord. And then it confuses it because, again, it's just sending one piece of MIDI data through. And the cool thing is like, I thought I was gonna have to figure out how to set this up as a MIDI device. No, you just plug it in and it automatically goes to channel 1. You could also plug this into an analog synth. So if you do want to use it live, you can actually trigger just like a hardware synth with it, same deal. But it does have to have the 5-pin MIDI connector for this cable, which luckily my MBox Studio has one of those in the back. So yeah, as you can hear, it's so great. And again, if you play it right, and I've got the sensitivity dialed up like pretty high, I would say 2 o'clock. As long as you're playing it clean, it's never gonna get confused. The glide knob is like, let's say I'm gonna do a glide from like 3 to 10. See what kind of comes with it? And different plugins will have different effects on that. I can turn that off and then see how it doesn't track with it. So obviously you want that glide on. See, when you try to sustain it is when you kind of get into trouble. But again, that also depends on, I'm just using it as like a bass type thing right here. So this is just the MS-20, the Mark 1. Let's do, what's the dark roller? All right, so for like It's so good. Dude, amazing. I love this thing. Let's do something, let's do a sequencer. How about a step? Now here's the thing. If you're tracking this as something that's triggering like a arpeggiator or something, you have to get it right on it or you might hear a glitch. But here's the beautiful thing. One of the reasons you might want to get a MIDI controller for your guitar is because you can go back in your audio session. I'm using Logic right now. And then you can quantize it. So basically you just play the part and it can be sloppy and it can sound bad live. But then you have the data there, and then you can just cheat it, and then you can just like highlight it all, quantize, and it'll put everything exactly on the beat. So again, you can use it live, but I think it's just such a better recording tool just to kind of get stuff down faster. All right, that's enough for the Korg MS-20. Let's try something else. Let's do another one that I really like is the Arturia Augmented Strings patch. This is like such a cool, just kind of like. Just like a cool way to maybe transfer your guitar knowledge into maybe something for like a production. But yeah, another thing that you could think of is, oh, here we go. Here's a little staccato type. So again, you can see that it tracks really well. Again, I highly recommend augmented strings for like sound design stuff. Here's another sequencer. And you can see that I don't have any of my guitar signal going through. I'm just going straight, just using it just as a MIDI controller and then just kind of tracking everything that way. So many cool things that you can do with this. Sad Day Cello. Now here's one thing that you might want to take into consideration is when you think of like the electricity that is coming from your guitar into the recovery effects pedal and the sustain of it. All right, that's it. This is a great guitar. This is the Music Man STV, St. Vincent. And the sustain is like amazing. I love the pickups on this. But you could actually get creative and put a compressor pedal in front of this and maybe just increase the sustain. And then it's great. And especially if you want to do like melodies and like harmonies and stuff like that, I think those shapes are a lot easier just to see visually on a guitar neck than maybe even like a keyboard or something like that, just depending on how you learn, you know what I mean? But yeah, you can get creative with it, and the cool thing is, like I said, it fits just in your chain anywhere. So yeah, pretty cool. I'm just gonna, let's see, what should we do now? I got a little splice. Synthwave type deal. Let's see if we can find something that we can jam along with that. Let's go. Should we do the DX7? The Arturia DX7. What does it sound like? Oh, so it's just like an electric piano, just so you know. So you can see that that tracks really well. That's, again, I kind of screwed that up myself, but. I think this does track better monophonically than the Roland, just from my experience. just from my experience thus far. But yeah, anyways, let's try to find something cool and then put it over those drums. Oh, the bass. Oh, this is like that ultimate DX7 bass. Yeah. I gotta record this. Let's. It's too good. So, anyways, just kind of like a cool little gadget to have around. You know what I mean? And especially, like I said, you can see right here in the MIDI, like it's tracked everything. And if you're used to like reading like MIDI at all, MIDI it's like tracked pretty clean. Like the only thing I would have to do is maybe sometimes on the attack where I have the sensitivity set up, I might have to like just adjust the attack, like kind of go in there and like fine tune it. But again, that's just playing with like the sensitivity knob and like your own kind of playing style and stuff. So thank you to Recovery Effects for sending over the Ghost Rider. If you have any questions, I'll link it in the description. And get your synth rock on, man, because nothing feels better than just nothing feels better than just like. I will say it tracks better with a pick too, but not the best for like, you know, maybe subtle Travis picking. Again, monophonic, one at a time. But even if you look at like the MIDI and go through here, you can see it tracks pretty clean. Again, the attack is the only thing that you might want to kind of like get in there and kind of mess with, but again, super cool pedal. So thanks to Recovery Effects for sending it over. Talk to you guys soon.